Hello, this is Ed Spicer, and this is www.spicyreads.org. Thank you for joining me as I speak with Cinda Williams Chima about her Heir series.
This is Ed Spicer, and this is www.spicyreads.org, and I'm here with the author of the wonderful fantasy trilogy, with Dragon Heir being the last of the 3 books in that series, and certainly one that teens at Allegan High School know and love. And this is Cinda Williams Chima.
Hi.
You to tell us, Cinda, just what you do as a writer.
Well, I make up stories and I write them down.
I've been told that if you really want to be a good writer, that you have to do the BIC.
Butt in chair. Writers all know that terminology. I think Jane Yolen was the person that came up with that. I'm used to a situation where every spare moment I filled with writing. I was either writing or I was editing.
One of the reasons for asking you about, sort of your writing job is we have a hard time at our high school with dealing with revision. So I'm wondering if you could tell us a little bit about how many times you revised your own book before you sent it off to your agent.
Well, actually, my first book kind of sets a record on that, because when I wrote The Warrior Heir, I really hadn't studied writing technique. I think I can be a bad example for a lot of people. I was a reader, and I thought, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write a novel. And so really for the following 4 years, I continued to revise The Warrior Heir as I learned more and more about writing. I took classes, I read books about writing, and whenever I learned something new, I would go back and revise my manuscript. When I write, I tend to write a sloppy first draft. I really have to turn off that editor in my head and let the story come. And what I really need to do is get the bones down, and then I can go back and do revision. A lot of people don't believe me when I say this, but I've actually come to love revision, because that's the point where I can find the exact right word. It doesn't always come to you.
Bless you.
Yeah, it doesnn't come to you immediately. A lot of young writers will write to me and they'll say, all the good ideas are taken. There maybe are no new ideas, but it's what you do with it that will make your work special. So don't be afraid of writing fantasy if you love fantasy. One thing I would say in terms of revision is I'm never really finished. And there are times that I would like to go back to The Warrior Heir and put sticky notes in there, because when I'm writing the Dragon Heir, things happen and I think, oh, well, if I knew that this was going to happen, I would have done this
earlier.
But sooner or later, you do have to finish and let the book go.
You can always find something to improve, even after it's published, perhaps.
I hope that with every book, I get just a little bit better. My new series is also a fantasy series.
Is it going to be a new trilogy?
The first book is called The Demon King. And it's high fantasy. It's set in a place called the Seven Realms. It's medieval technology. The main characters are a reformed street gang leader and an impatient, rebellious princess.
Any last words for readers out in Allegan about writing you would like people on my website to know?
Well, I would like to just give a shout out about my new series.
Say the title again once more.
The first book is called The Demon King. The series may be called The Seven Realms. Be out October 13th.
Thank you so much for a great series, and I'll look forward to the next one.
Thanks, Ed.
And thanks for appearing on www.spicyreads.org.
My pleasure.
Once again, this is Ed Spicer, and this is www.spicyreads.org. You've been listening to an interview with Cinda Williams Chima. Thanks for stopping by.